It's a great question. Have I accomplished everything I've wanted to as a musician, or all of my goals as a musician? Yeah, I have to say yes. Most of my life was spent playing original music. Honestly, all of my previous music career prior to moving to Tulsa has been spent chasing the original music dream, recording records, playing live gigs, promotions, and just doing everything from the ground up, and really trying to make a go of it. I've been close a few times, and I'm happy with what I accomplished in my original music, but now in what I get to do, it's a little bit different. I feel very fortunate that when I came back to playing music 9 years ago, since then I've gotten to record 4 different albums on spec, been involved in a variety of different projects. I've played in a multitude of different bands, all providing different types of experiences for me as a drummer, but it's all been cover music. Something I would have never, ever imagined myself doing, but I gotta tell you, taking a look at what I do now as a drummer is a little bit different, because not only do I have to sound like me and what I bring to the table, but in a given 3 or 4 hour gig, I've got to sound like 20, 30, up to 40 other drummers in a night. That tends to get pretty challenging. And the best part about it is, I get to sleep in my bed. I get to go to sleep and wake up in my home. I'm not on a bus. I'm not in some van with a bunch of sweaty musicians that haven't showered in days, hoping they can make a sandwich at least, which is great. I did it. I've been there, but I don't want that anymore. I don't need to do that. I've done it. Now I get to enjoy the fruits of my labor, and I get to play gigs all over town in a variety of venues and in front of a bunch of different people. And it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy what I get to do. So yeah, ultimately, I've accomplished everything I've wanted to do as a musician. That's kind of a complex question with, I would say, a multitude of answers. What other skills have I developed in other industries over the years leading me up to being where I am now in music instrument retail? Wow. Different levels of sales techniques, being in the cycling industry for a very long time as a mechanic, as a marketing person, as a promotions person, as a liaison, as an educator, team mechanic, service manager. My gosh, I did car sales, I've done telemarketing, I've done clothing retail. I would say I've learned so many different skills from every industry that I've been in that have allowed me the ability to hone in on what I'm good at and what skills really work and are applicable for what I do here. That's a great question. What made me want to open the drum shop? Years ago, I was very lucky living in Los Angeles. I was in a town filled with talented musicians of every type. I was surrounded by people, by music stores, by drum shops, and I was able to get to them by bus. I was young, I was impressionable, but all I wanted to do was play drums. All I wanted to do was be better. And I was fortunate enough to go into several drum shops throughout LA County where they didn't treat me like a punk kid. They didn't treat me like just some hoodlum. They treated me with a modicum of respect. They treated me as a peer. I would say that there was a respect that was reciprocated more times than not. I wasn't that guy that would go into the drum shop and bang away on all their drum kits and wreck drum heads and leave marks on cymbals. Like, I wasn't that kid. I grew up in the 80s when electronic percussion was really just making its way. That's what I was interested in because I didn't have that at home. At home, I had a great drum kit. I didn't need to play their stuff. I just needed the education. And they would let me put headphones on and just play the electronic kits and learn about it, and they would teach me. They would pull me aside and show me tricks of the trade. They would teach me about things that they were doing as pro-level drummers and what they were doing. And it was just, it's those guys that made me always want to open a drum shop. And that's something that I can never forget. That's something I can never repay. The other side to that is, it's what I felt I was always supposed to do. I believe that there are two different types of people in retail. Those that should be in retail and those that shouldn't. And those that shouldn't be in retail should get the hell out, because you're ruining it for those of us that love it. I love retail. I love the chaos. I love the bedlam. I love the uncertainty. I love the not knowing who's going to walk in the door next. I love what I don't know is going to happen that day. All of those things make up for what I love about retail. But more importantly, it's every single person that walks through that door that makes my day worth it. Every phone call, every experience, every conversation. Those are the things that made me want to open the drum shop.